Good evening and welcome to the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station. I'm your host, Roman, and we have a terrific show planned for you today. Don't forget to stay tuned at 6 p.m. right after the Drive at 5 for Warriors Talk with my girl, Rochelle. Tonight, my guest has a program called We. It's a We organization. And for more, we're going to pivot to William Davis, one of our guests, and his wife, Vicki Davis, the CEO and operation manager of We. So please give intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station your background.
First, my name is Willie Davis, and I'm the founder and CEO of the We organization. We organization stands for With Everyone. That means we partner with various organizations to bring resources to our reentry population, as well as the homeless population as well. And like I say a little bit about myself, I'm a returning citizen myself. After spending 25 years incarcerated from 93 to 2018, that's when We was formed. It wasn't called We, but the ideal and everything was there. And I put it into play. I started connecting other individuals with different services that they was in need of before they got out. I connect them with the organization, the University of Chicago. They had a program called EJP, Education Justice Project. And what they would do, they would have a host of reentry programs inside, it's called a reentry map book. So I would reach out to those various organizations that was in that book, and I would provide that information with the guys that was inside, that was getting out. So when they get out, they could connect to these various resources to help them along the way and help them with their reentry. And also when I got out, I went to a halfway house because I told my family, I said, y'all be supportive of me just like y'all were when I was in the inside. And I told them that I have to do this on my own. So I paroled to a halfway house on 110th and went where I paroled there. I stayed there for like 3 months, got me a job, working 4 days a week, 12 hours a day, volunteering at a reentry program where I learned a lot of how to do reentry. And I just learned a lot. They taught me a lot. And I took all that I learned and put it all together, and I was able to form the We organization along with my wife, Vicki.
And I'm Vicki Davis, and I work side by side with Willie. I do the administrative work for the organization, just making sure that we remain a 501c3, and also just doing things like even soliciting donations, setting up our website, writing grant proposals, hiring volunteers, just a bulk of the administrative work.
So tell me what We stands for.
With everyone. That means we partner with various organizations to bring the resources to the reentry population and also to those that are in need, the homeless population as well. So we stand for With Everyone. We partner with various organizations that's out there. Like we partner with Safer Foundation, Threshold, Haymarket. It's a host of other organizations that we partner with to do the work that need to get done in order to provide the services that is needed.
It's almost like a sub hub. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You said you created this before you was incarcerated.
During my time in incarceration.
During your time incarceration, what inspired you to do it? How you found there was a need? When did you find out it was a need and unique spin? Because there's other organizations that's out there. What's unique about yours?
Well, during my time in there, the reason why it got me so involved while I was there, I also was a peer educator while I was there. I taught about STDs, talked about life in general. Also, I helped guys get their GED or was in the process of getting their GED through ABE, basic adult education, or to get to the level to get to the GED. And then I saw a lot of guys coming in and out of the penitentiary, which kind of upset me because I said, man, y'all just give me one more chance and I'll show you what you can do. Because a lot of them would come back in and say, man, there's no jobs out there because I'm an ex-offender. I said, there are jobs out there.
Mhm.
It's just not the job that you want. I said, but there are jobs out there to get you to where you want to go in life, but you gotta start somewhere. You can't start at the top, especially if you don't have the training and stuff like that, the skills to handle a job or to do a job that can give you $50,000, $60,000 a year. I said, nobody gonna give you $50,000, $60,000 a year, and I gotta train you too. Now, if you come in with those skills, and then we can talk, we can negotiate some stuff. So I start reaching out, like I said, to other organizations and connecting them with them. So when they got out, they had some resources. And but what sets us apart is the main thing that the We organization do when we do outreach and we run across individuals that was
Yes.
formerly incarcerated, they're homeless. And first thing I do, I make sure that they got the proper documentation that they need in order to access any program. You can't get SNAP, you can't get anything. You can't access any programs without a birth certificate, state ID, or social security card. So that's our main thing that we do. We make sure that you get that documentation so you can apply for these various programs that are out there that you are able to get. So we make sure. So what we do, we connect you with that organization that can provide you with a birth certificate, state ID, and social security card. Then we can go forward. Because a lot of individuals, if I send you somewhere, I know that you gotta have some documentation, and you don't have it, and then you come back, oh man, why you didn't tell me I need this or I need that? So I want to make sure that you got it before you go there.
And we actually connect people to organizations that can help them to get their ID so that they are ready and equipped to go to different jobs or apply for the SNAP program. We are kind of like a hub. We're a boots on the ground organization. We probably run into the people before they actually are sent to these different agencies to get the help that they need, because we are out there on the streets and doing heavy street outreach. Um, we go to different events. We're invited to several events to talk about different things, jobs, harm reduction, just anything to do with reentry. Um, we're also the street outreach, and we do a lot of street outreach, especially during the spring and summer and fall months. We have volunteers that go with my husband, or I'll go with him, and so we also happen to just, well, not happen, but people just come to us because they know the We organization, they know the table, and because we're out there all the time, and so they'll come to us and ask for different things, whether it's giving them a box of Narcan or something, or telling them where they can go to get IDs, or where they can go to apply for a job here or there. So we just like, by us collaborating and connecting with so many other organizations, we have that, like we're like an informational hub network.
Yeah, we are.
And we take that information back to the people.
You mentioned something that was key
Mhm.
that everyone runs into, especially when people talk about incarceration
Mhm.
and they're getting out, second chance programs. There's no jobs out there for me. And you say, yeah, they are. There's no jobs out there for me. Yeah, there are. Are you trying? Are you looking? What are you doing? And for some, and not saying all, outside looking in, is like, here's the $65,000 job you've been waiting for. It's on a platter. Come here and get the platter.
Mhm.
It doesn't, you try to tell them it doesn't work that way.
That's right.
How can you get through to them and say, there's jobs out there that hire ex felons? You just have to want it. It's not like Burger King to have it your way.
Yeah.
You say?
Yeah, they out there. The jobs are out there. I look at myself and I say, man, listen. After they get through talking the talk or whatever they want to say, then I let them know that, hey, They are jobs. Look at me. I was incarcerated for 25 years. I'm out here. It's you got to be determined. You got to want something for yourself. And if you want it, you're going to stop thinking the way you that old thinking and put some positive thoughts together and begin to move forward in your life. Because I'm a prime example, and I can show you many other individuals that was formerly incarcerated. I can show you individuals that was on death row that's out and getting making good money, got homes and all of this stuff, but they started at the bottom and they worked their way up. So it's all about you, what you want for yourself, what you want for your family, how you want to see your kids, because you probably got kids. How do you want your kids? What type of life do you want for your kids? How do you want your kids to look at you? So you have to start thinking about those things, and then you have to start making changes in your life. Is it easy? I never tell you it's easy. Because there's gonna be times you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna be upset, saying, "Man, why is this going this way? Why is this doing this? Why is it doing that?" Those are the times you got to humble yourself and remember the times that you was in that cell.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember the times you was in that cell, and many times you couldn't do what you want to do, but now you're out here, you can do what you want to do, and
But some people think because they were incarcerated, they're limited.
no, never limited.
According to
So-
you, but for their psyche, they think they're limited. You say?
gotta start. You have to start at the bottom, and the jobs we refer you to, they may be factory jobs, they may be other types
Yeah.
of jobs, but it's a job.
It's
It
a
gets
job.
you started, gets your foot in the door, and then from there you work your way
Mhm.
up. But you gotta start somewhere.
They got to start somewhere.
You guys are like, again, like a sub hub,
Mhm.
a
Mm-hmm.
smorgasbord of everything.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell the listeners the kind of jobs that you have gotten second chance ex offenders that you can put out there that they can say, okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with a young lady once. She came in. I said, "Man, I got this factory job for you. If there's something you want." She said, "No, I don't want that. I want something better." I said, "Well, what you want to do?" So she said, "I don't want that." So she wind up that I was telling her about going to college, getting your trade and moving forward. She went to school, got her a trade. I seen her about last summer, sitting behind a desk, working for a big organization, West Side Organization. Say, "Hey, Mr. Davis." And I looked, I said, "Man." She said, "Yeah, I took your advice. Now I'm running this program over here."
Mm-hmm.
So by just speaking to that individual, giving that individual some positive advice or some positive guidance, and we have individuals where they got into factory jobs. They just started off as a factory worker, then they went to forklift drivers. Now they're supervisors in factories. So those are just some of the stories that we can tell and we could talk about. Once I got a guy a job. I'm working in the factory myself. One of my buddies came to me, "Hey, well, I need a job." Got him a job in the same factory with me. We working side by side in the same factory. And here I am. I'm this guy who got this organization, but I'm working in this factory with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he respect that, and he moved up. He became a supervisor as well. So he stayed put.
What about CTA?
Good program.
Yeah.
That's a good program. That's a good program. I recommend that individuals get involved with the Second Chance program, because that's a good program. Because once you get in, then you can advance. Once you get into that program, like I say, you start you off maybe cleaning the buses and stuff like that. But once your probational period is over with and you become a part of CTA, now you can bid for other jobs or put in for other positions that are available for you. So that's an excellent program that is available for ex-offenders. Also, UPS hire ex-offenders. Amazon hire ex-offenders.
Yes.
It's so Ford Motor Company.
Yes.
Flexingate.
Ford,
I got individuals with jobs working for Flexingate. Flexingate is an offshoot of Ford Motor Company that's right there on 126 and Torrance. They hire ex-offenders. So there's so many jobs out there for them. A lot of them don't know where they at, and they don't know how to get to them. So
and
that's
But
where
that's
we
where you-
come in.
That's
That's
when we
where
come
we
in.
come in. And with us, like I said, doing street outreach. People are also referred to us.
Mm.
We everywhere we go, we give our cards or information about our organization, and then people refer other people to us. And we, when they call our office, then we actually do what we can to help them out, help them get a job, or help them to at least steer them in the right direction, and tell them where to go, what to do, and things of that sort. But yeah, we're out there doing
And,
the work.
and a lot of times we out mostly in the Pullman
Yeah,
and the
and
West Pullman
Roseland.
and the Roseland community,
Yeah.
because that's a high
Yes.
population of homeless individuals,
Yeah.
high population of drug use.
Yes.
So we
Halfway
focus on that halfway
houses.
houses and everything. So we focus in those
Transition.
areas.
Yeah. So,
Let's set the scene right quick.
Mhm.
Number one thing, resumes.
Mhm.
mm,
They don't have, like you said, they come in, they don't have the training, they don't have no experience.
mhm,
Only thing they know how to do is, I'm just going to say it, I got a dime bag here, a
mhm,
5 bag here, and that's what they want to do.
mhm.
But creatively, you can say you're an independent entrepreneur.
Mm.
With that being said,
Yeah, you are. You are.
with that being said, how you develop, because second chance is getting younger and younger
Mm.
and younger.
Yeah.
And once they're out there.
Mhm.
And some of them like 14, 15,
Yeah.
and they really can't get a job, but
Yeah.
they're out there. They have a GED, but they really can't get a job,
Yeah.
and they need a resume. What your organization do at that point?
Well, we can steer them to organizations, like we said, that can help them with resumes, stuff like that, and get them into the training programs. It's an organization called Grow.
Yeah.
Grow is a big program on the south side of Chicago, and they help a lot of our
And they
young
work
black
with the
boys.
youth.
And they help them do resumes. They help them get jobs. They get them into training programs,
Yeah.
and they just do a lot. They do counseling because a lot of them need counseling. See, I could get you a job, but the underlying issue might not be that I just need a job. I may be dealing with some issues in my
Mhm.
life. I may be dealing with some trauma in my life that affects me. So we got to look at that issue too. What causing you to act out or to behave the way you're behaving? And once we can tap into that, and then we can go forward, we can get the resumes, we can get you into training, we can get things for you that you need. But first, let's talk. Let's just have a talk. Let's be open. And a lot of them wants to be open. But like we had that conversation early, you got to know how to talk to them and kind of get them to understand that you got their best interest at heart. And once they start seeing that, then they start opening up to you. Yeah, they're gonna be hard at first. Believe me, they ain't gonna be easy. They're gonna be hard at first.
Ms. Davis, study that's out there now, that more women are being incarcerated,
Mm.
more and more. The We program, you counsel. What you say to a young woman that's been incarcerated in serious need jobs. Not only do they need a job, they have a son, they have a daughter. They also need personal hygienes because they're female.
Mhm.
What would you say? What would you recommend?
You know, if an individual comes to us like that and they've got like a plethora of needs, or there's so much going on with them and they need help, just period. The first thing I do is try to talk with them and assess what can we do. You if you need hygiene products, we have that. We can give you hygiene products. More than just them needing a job, if they are homeless or something like that, we have places we can refer them, so that they can get some type of even if it's just shelter housing or transitional housing or something real quick and fast, or is there, you have to talk with them first to find out how you can help them. Even if they come to you with all of these different needs, where can we start? Because we have to start somewhere. So the hygiene products, we got that. The housing, we can refer you. Let us make some phone calls and let us find out who we can talk to help you. Jobs, we can help you, we can refer you to someone, but it looks like before you even get a job, you need help with this first. We even know a lady who has her own program that's geared to helping women, and she helps women with clothing, she helps women with all types of needs, and we can actually refer the young lady to her program. And her program is just amazing. um, so yeah, there's just different things like that that we can do to help the person. We don't want to just leave them out there, but if you don't have the phone numbers, you can't make the phone calls, we'll do it. We'll make the phone calls, we'll connect you so that you can go and get the help that you need.
And the program that she's referring to, she's a good friend of mine. Her name, Miss Cologne. Her program is called God. It's giving others dreams. And she do a lot of stuff with the women population.
Yes,
because when I look at individuals are getting out, we as men, when we get out, we got less responsibility. Only thing we got to do is worry about ourselves. Now we got kids, we can worry about them if we want to. That's our choice. But when a young lady get out of prison, she had kids before she went in. She's gonna have kids when she come out. So her first thing is, hey, I got to get myself together in order for me to get my kids. I need certain things. I need more services than what a man needs. So there's not enough services out there for women. I worked at a halfway house for women, and I know there's not a lot out there for women. Their needs are really not being met the way they could and they should be met.
But some people would say there's plenty of programs. Again, outside looking in, they would say there's plenty of women organizations that's out there that cater towards this, that, and the other for women. Not that much for men, but for women. What am I missing that you can communicate to the intellectual
We're
radio
finding that
audience?
there are more programs for men
Than they are for
than
women.
there are for women.
And I can speak to that because I know a whole program for men, but it's limited for women. Yeah, you got women programs out there, but it's not as many as men. The women, they're not getting the services that they need.
And that's because women come with, like you said, children, other needs, pregnancies. It's a whole bunch of other needs that women kind of come with. And some housing programs don't even want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with a woman who's got children. They don't want to, so unfortunately, we have some people out there, they would rather have a program geared to helping men than programs helping women. They have places on the west side. It's hard to find a lot of places on the south side, but there are some that do help women. But that's where we come in to we do everything we can to connect that person to the right program so that they can get the help that they need.
Because you gotta look at too, you gotta deal with domestic violence. Say women get out, they may have a partner that was abusing them. So when they get out, a lot of times they go back to their partner and they go back into the abuse because that's the only thing they know. That's the only place they know is to this place right here because it provides for me. It could put a roof over my head and some type of food in my stomach. So they go back to those situations because
and when they come to us and have those type of problems, like I said, we just make sure we have information ready and handy. We sometimes we take it with us out there on the street because sometimes you might not even see that person ever again. And you have to hurry up and give them that information. You have to make, my husband has made phone calls right there while we're on the street doing street outreach to help certain people out because they were, they were desperate. So we didn't want to just leave them out there. We wanted to make sure we found a way to connect them to the right person that can help them.
When you talk about female second chance, the job aspects are different than men.
Hmm.
Ms. Davis, what would you say? A woman comes up to you, I need a job. I wish I can do CTA, but while I was incarcerated, I got some ailments that I can't do certain things.
Yeah.
What would you say to them?
There is a program that's out there that can help these women to get jobs.
And also work with their resume.
And yeah, and there's another program on 35th Street that we can definitely refer people to, and even whether they're a man or a woman, and they have a high success rate in helping people get jobs. And so we collaborate with, we meaning with everyone. We actually are so collaborated with these organizations and connected that the minute we say, if the person say, Mr. Willie Davis sent me, like they get taken care of right away because we're so connected with these different organizations. So if they need a job, we have a place that we can connect them to. And we don't just send them away and tell them, oh, we'll get back to you. No, we try to make sure we connect them.
And like you said, if some dealing with certain issues, maybe a mental issue, maybe a physical issue, we can still work with you and I talk with you, find out, well, what can you do or what would you like to do? Because we ran across individuals that was, different situation, maybe infected with HIV, or AIDS, stuff like that, or hepatitis. So we run across various individuals. So then we're able to say, well, what do you want to do? Because life still goes on and your life can still go on. So now you got to figure out a different way of living your life of what you want to do. You can't let your ailment stop you from doing something that you really want to do. It's just like I tell a person that infected with HIV is not a death sentence. You got to rearrange the way you live your life. And that's with everything in life. When certain things happen, you got to rearrange the way you live it in order to succeed or to do what it is that you want to accomplish in life.
Dealing with everything else, you guys also deal with STDs, as you mentioned, the health component. Tell us on intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station, what do you guys see out there that we are not seeing? Is it the statistics that more men with HIV? Is it an increase of women with STDs, herpes? The list goes on and on.
It's the risky lifestyle that what the living such a risky lifestyle. When I looked at statistics, they're saying that there's a higher rate of women with HIV and STIs, that the rate is higher. And then there's sometimes I look at data and they'll say that is really high amongst African American men as well, because there's some African American men that are not, they're not, how can I put it? They're not out. So they're just kind of undercover. And
Down
so,
low.
You're talking about living a bisexual life or down low.
Yeah, and I didn't know the right terms. I didn't want to say just anything, but yeah, when we run across individuals like that, we refer them, of course, to a place where they have to get some type of treatment. They have to go to the city of Chicago. They have the STD clinics and HIV clinics, and they have to go immediately, or if they're living in a Roseland area, then they can go to the Roseland Hospital or go to different places. But you have to get treatment right away.
And we make sure to get. And another thing,
But what about, and sorry to cut you off.
Mm.
What about I'm like the man of the town,
Mm,
and I don't want them to see me going in that clinic or on that floor because everybody know that floor in that clinic. So if they see me coming out, such and such got something.
well, they have to. I would tell them the city of Chicago has clinics all over the city. If you don't want to be seen, which is which is even a bigger risk to your health, it could take you 2 or 3 weeks to get to the west side to a clinic. There's a clinic right down the street on the south side that you can easily get to and get yourself treated. Um, so, I mean, we would rather put that urgency in there to let them know this is what you need to do right away, regardless of who sees you. If they see you there and they're there, well, okay, you two are there for the same reason. So no one could talk about anyone. So,
You also provide condoms.
yes.
Tell us about that. You guys go out, provide condoms. Some people say, I don't need that. You run into that. Tell us about that.
Well, what we do when we give out condoms come in our package. We give out a package. In our package, we have condoms, we have Narcan, we have Zalazan and fentanyl test strips. Also, we have the little wristband with positive quotes on it. And we give it to them. And then someone look at, oh man, I got condoms. I don't need this. I said, if you don't need it, at least someone else that can use it. And then when we talk about STIs and stuff like that,
What is STIs?
it's sexually transmitted infections. That's what they don't use STDs no more.
Yeah,
They use STIs,
Yeah.
sexually transmitted
So
infections.
it's no longer STDs,
No,
it's STIs.
STIs.
When that started happening?
Oh wow, that's been a
It's
while.
been a while
Yeah.
ago since they started using
Yeah.
that. Because when I was incarcerated and I used to do the peer education, I was using STDs. But when I got out, all of a sudden, now STIs. But it's basically the same thing. So you're talking about herpes, you're talking about gonorrhea, you're talking about chlamydia, and everything else, hepatitis C, hepatitis A, B, all those various STIs. And the main thing I tell individuals that if you're living a risky lifestyle, if you're having unprotected sex, you get out high, whatever, you live in this risky lifestyle, you're not
Yeah, you got
protecting
lots of
yourself,
partners.
it's best to have
Yeah.
condoms. So you don't know what a person have because a person is never going to tell you. Because I said, it's really your business, but they'll tell you it's not your business what I got. It's up to me if I want to tell you. And a lot of times they don't tell you because they don't really care.
Even if they're your sexual partner.
Now, if it's you and her, monogamous together, and then yeah, you should know. But if you outside a sexual relationship with someone else, then a lot of times they don't tell you.
Even if they have a side piece.
Sometimes they wouldn't tell you.
They still won't
wouldn't
tell
tell
you. Yeah.
It's like I like to say
yeah.
when I go back to my incarceration, when I teach guys about HIV and AIDS, I tell them what is HIV, what is AIDS, and I tell them how it's contacted. Because a lot of say, oh man, I don't want to sell with someone that affected with HIV, and then I let them know that you're more of a threat to them than they are to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because what causes if a person is affected with HIV, their immune system is weak. And by the immune system being weak, you could come in my presence. If I had HIV, you come in my presence, you sneeze, I catch a cold. That cold can turn into pneumonia because my system is not strong enough to fight it off.
Mm-hmm.
But the only way that you can get infected with the HIV is that if you come in contact with blood, semen, vaginal fluid, or breast milk.
Mm-hmm.
If someone is HIV positive and you come in contact with one of them 4 body fluids, yes, it can be transmitted to you. And that's the only thing you got to protect yourself from. But me, if I had it, you come in my presence with any type of cold or virus or anything, I can catch it and it turn to something else because my system is compromised. That's why it's
Yes.
called HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. That
Mhm.
means you have the virus.
Mhm.
But they say the medicine now is more stronger and they can be more susceptible to colds and other ailments now more than in the past.
Yeah.
Correct or
Yeah.
incorrect?
No, you're correct. They do have some stronger medications out there.
The, yeah.
And
The medication is that if they take their medication, same medication, you got PrEP and you got PEP. PrEP is pre-exposed prophylaxis. That's if a person is HIV negative and they living that risky lifestyle, yes, they can go to their doctor and he can prescribe it for them. As long as they take it as prescribed by their doctor and use some other protective barrier like condoms or something like that, they can protect themselves from being infected with the HIV. And then they got PEP, post exposed. That means if you go out, you had sex with someone, and the next day they say, "Hey, I got HIV." Now, if you go see your doctor within 42 hours, 72 hours, it'll kill it. It'll kill the virus. But the same medications that's out there, it's no stronger. It's just that individual have to take their medication. They have to take their medication. They have to exercise. They have to eat right, and they have to get their proper rest, and they can live long, healthy lifestyles. That's the key. It's like we said earlier, rearranging the way you live your life. Because I used to talk to a lot of them, and you wouldn't know it unless they tell you that they're infected with the HIV virus. Because they take their medication every day, they eat right, they get their proper rest, and they exercise. Just like people think Magic Johnson got this magic pill, but he don't. Because I know individuals been living longer than Magic and don't have no. They have money, have income, not like this one, but they live in a normal lifestyle. Like I say, you would never know it because they rearranged the way they live their life.
yeah.
When you talk about your organization, you have various components. Tell us about the homeless outreach that you guys provide. You guys literally go out to the streets and give out the package that you described, even more. Tell us a little bit about that and why is it so important, crucial now more than ever to reach out to homeless individuals? According to statistics, 72% of people who are homeless are Black.
Mm.
It is true. It's true. But they also know that majority of those that are homeless, a lot of them deal with mental illness. See, they only look at, oh, you're homeless because you want to be homeless, or you're homeless because you're a drug addict. They don't look at it that a lot of them dealing with mental issues, which is the underlying issue. We go into those encampments. I go into those encampments. I talk to those individuals just like I'm talking to you. And we engaged in a conversation. Some of them came from, had good jobs, lived good life. But all of a sudden, they started dealing with depression. They started dealing with the trauma that was in their life, and they began to drink or they began to use drugs. And it affected life where they become homeless. Then you got some of them, they just say, hey, fuck it, I'm going to just do what I want to do. But you got a lot of them that's out there because of mental illness. And that's one thing we overlook, especially when you come to Black, us people, it's a taboo. It's a taboo. It was really never spoken about in our homes. If a person is dealing with as a schizophrenic, oh man, it's not really talked about. But those are some things that need to be talked about, especially when we talk about that homeless population, that increase of homeless population among us as African American peoples. That's the thing we need to really focus on too, that mental piece.
Some of that 72% are female.
Mhm.
Even though majority are male,
Mhm.
again, there's an increased rise in female homelessness.
Mhm.
Sometimes, maybe outside looking in, sometimes women use their body for shelter. Women will say, I'm into you, but they're really not into you,
Mhm.
so they can have a place
Yeah.
to lay their head.
Yeah.
You say,
Yeah. Yeah, some women, this is how they survive, and this is their way of surviving. And like, we're not trying to pass judgment or any of that. We just let them know that it's still risky. That there are shelters, that there's some places we can refer you to, so that you can get some extra help, if you choose it. Some women choose to kind of want to,
Be a drifter.
yeah, be a drifter. They might choose that, but we do have another option just in case you get sick of living this type of lifestyle. Maybe there's something else available for you. You don't have to go in this direction. Here's a phone number. Call this person. Here's a flyer. Here, call this person. And believe it or not, I know a lot of people like, well, how can homeless people call people? Believe me, they have cell phones, they have government phones. And I know we might think that, homeless people don't have certain, what we consider necessities. A phone is a necessity, but a lot of homeless people have that. Um, a lot of homeless people, even though they live down there in Tent City, they are like well taken care of, because we've gone down there to feed them, and they're like, "Oh, we don't want that," And you would think
They're picky with
they're
food.
they're
Yeah.
picky with food. Yeah.
How they can be picky with food?
Yeah, you can't just feed them anything. We've done movie night at the home for the homeless, and my husband will tell you more about
Yeah.
that. And
That's
they're picky with certain foods. They don't eat everything people bring to them, especially at a particular encampment that we've gone to.
because you got so many people that stop by, pull on
Yeah.
the side, especially one on Union and South Canalport. So
Mhm.
many people's pulled to the side to
And just
give them
drop
food,
food off.
give them clothes. That's why
Yes.
sometimes you see in them encampments, you see so many clothes that's scattered around out there on that sidewalk because they have so many clothes
Mhm.
that they just say, I don't want this, I don't want that. But they get a lot. Believe
Mhm.
me, they get a lot of stuff. People stop through and they give them stuff. It was I met the young lady. She was with Black Girls
Oh,
something,
yeah.
and I was down there and I was talking to a couple of the clients down there. And she pulled up. She opened up her trunk. She's a chef too, and she opened up her trunk. She pulled out trays of food and was giving out food to them and waters. And a
Mhm.
lot of them, they took it, but a lot of them had so much other food that
Mhm.
people's restaurants just stop by and give them stuff.
Yeah.
And you
It's,
you
it's
believe it.
yeah,
You wouldn't
especially in
believe. You
that
got to see
area.
it.
Now, some encampments, I'm not
Yeah,
sure how much they get, but each
it's a lot.
encampment is different. But yeah, my husband has gone to
Uh,
many different homeless and
I did
encampments.
some stuff with an organization called the Street Samaritans,
Mhm.
and they give out food, clothing, and
Yeah,
they go to all these different encampments every day,
yeah,
and they give out stuff. And you got other organizations that go to these encampments, and they give out food, they give out clothing, they assist them with if they need to get to a doctor and stuff like that, or maybe they need assistance with maybe applying for housing or whatever their needs are. They would also assist them with. You had doctors from
yeah. Mhm.
medical students from the University of Chicago would come
Yes,
out
and
and do medical
nurses.
care for them,
Yes,
check
yeah,
wounds and stuff like that. And that's a
yeah,
big thing with them too. A lot of them get wounds and stuff that they don't take care of, and they
And it
get
gets
infected,
infected.
yeah.
and they wind up, with
Yeah,
Possible.
amputations
amputation.
and yeah.
Let's talk about funding.
Mm.
All not for profit needs money. You describe a plethora of things that you guys provide.
Yes.
Now there's the money aspect.
Yeah.
So
And our
nothing is free.
no,
Mhm.
um, we get some funding. Um, we have, I think it's the Family Foundation. They have been wonderful in supporting what we're doing. Um, Although they're more geared to harm reduction, and we understand that. So that's what that particular grant is for. Um, we've gotten some funding from Habitat Chicago, but it was mainly for events, like to have a resource fair or just certain other events. But other than that, like movie night for the homeless, we came out of our own pockets, and now we really do need financial help, because we have spent a lot of money going out to homeless encampments, going on the streets in Roseland, just going to different places trying to help people. And so
Is the
that
money
kind of
coming out of your pockets?
yeah,
Yes. It comes out of
yeah,
pocket, especially when we talk about hygiene kits,
yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah, a lot
yes.
of it comes out of our pockets to do this.
Hmm.
Have you met with aldermen, senators,
We've tried to meet with
Yeah,
our
representatives? What's going on there?
yeah, we've tried to meet with
yeah.
an alderman, but
Give the
yeah,
runaround. State
yeah,
representative, I met with him person. Me and him sat and we talked. Well, this, but it constantly give you the
the
runaround,
runaround.
runaround.
Yeah,
Go to the office. Well,
yeah.
he got you on the schedule. He's just been busy in Springfield, blah, Skippy,
Mm,
and you constantly get the runarounds. You get the runarounds with these individuals, even though they know that you're out there, you're doing the work.
yeah.
And I don't know, but this is me personally speaking.
Mm,
I think that a lot of the larger organizations, they
yeah.
get the resources. They're really not putting the boots on the ground. They hire a person like me or someone else to go out there and do the work, but you're getting the bulk of the money. Whereas you got a smaller organization like ours that
Hmm.
can just use a 1/3 of what you're getting and
Yes.
put more boots on the ground, help individuals more. We could do more, but we're not getting the resources that we need because
But
they
why
governing
not
it up.
call the alderman, the representative, and the senators out on this?
We do.
Mm,
Believe me, we do. I
that's
had those
yeah,
conversations,
yeah.
especially with the aldermen in our ward, the alderman that's in our ward. Yeah, we had conversations, but they constantly
But it's a conversation. It never amounts to anything.
And right,
nut.
I'm talking about have a conversation that amounts to something.
yeah.
Well,
We.
that's basically.
I get it.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, I'm an alderman.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm aware of your program.
Mm-hmm.
Good program.
We have a conversation.
Yeah, and we've called you already 5 and 6 times, try and set up meetings with you and talk with you and let you know that we really could use the funding because we are out there where the people are.
Mm.
And so we're not housed up in a nice, office somewhere. We are really out there. That's why they call our organization a boots on the ground because we're out there where the people are. And you're the alderman. We've already come to you 4, 5, 6 times. And after a while, it's like we're just getting the runaround. They're just wasting our time. They're not really going to try and help us. And it's sad, but yeah, we spoke. Oh gosh, talk about
Yeah,
legislators.
yeah. That's why a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like personal. I'm a person like we need the
Mhm.
resources. I
Mhm.
reached out to you. You constantly give us the runaround. So I have to continue to do what we have to do to provide the
Yeah,
service
to
for the people. So I
provide
can't
this.
allow what you are not doing, what you should do, to affect what we are doing. And
Yes.
eventually, maybe we'll open up. Maybe we'll start uh, providing funding for us. Because
Mhm.
I had numerous conversations with with the senator, with the state representative, with the alderman
And
in
we've
that
written
area.
many grants.
Renton,
We've
same
hired
thing.
grant writers who kind of ripped us off. Yeah. So it's been tough, but we keep doing the
Keep
work.
doing
So
Maybe you can help me with
mhm.
this. Are Black organizations,
Mhm.
in comparison to white not for profit organizations,
Mhm.
it seems like there's some systemic racism
Mm.
with the money. You're both doing the same thing. As you say, you partner. But if I'm UIC and I see you, I'm getting $1 million. I'm giving you $1,000. Yay, do whatever you want to do. We're saying, well, we $1,000. We gave them money.
Mm-hmm.
They won't tell the amount. We gave them money.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the sheet. Money.
Mm-hmm.
You say to that.
Mm.
Let us speak to her that she did.
Yeah, because we've gotten of like I think $1,000 before from a big organization, and we were
And you say,
glad,
that's it?
and we were happy for it because we took it and bought the hygiene products and all the stuff we
Everything else,
needed. We didn't, I guess, because we were happy with this, we kind of just took it. We were glad about it. But we are wondering when is the next funding opportunity to apply with them. And they only are giving like really small amounts. This is a big organization, but they've given us a small amount to kind of help us out. We've, I don't know how to put it. We've applied everywhere pretty much. And we're just like, what we need to know even what we're doing wrong. Maybe we're not filling out the grants correctly. Maybe it's like it's almost like the grantors would rather give funding to big organizations that really don't need it, but they have the capacity to do the work. But we're out there doing the work with very limited resources. And we're the ones that need the funding so that we can build the capacity so that we can do even more work. And it's just it's to me it's just hard to get to understand it. We just don't get it.
Because we just applied for a grant which we was denied, and
Yeah.
they said, well, because you got different levels.
Oh yeah,
I thought that was a good thing.
Huh?
I thought that was a good thing
Yeah,
for
well.
for an organization to have different levels than one
The
level.
grantor had different levels.
Yeah, they have a tier
They have a
system.
tier system.
And
The
yeah,
larger organization, they score higher on certain
on the tier
tiers
system.
than we do because we're a
Right.
smaller organization.
Right.
So we was denied the grant. So they said, well, if there's anything that you want to say or anything, I said, man, I feel like when you have these grants, I
Mm-hmm.
feel you should have some provisions in there for smaller organizations like ours
Yes.
that can benefit from these grants. But the ones who's getting the money, like she said, don't really need it. Because if I got $200,000 budget and I apply for 50,000 because I got all these programs and all my programs score higher on these tiers, and you got this little small organization like ours, just do a lot of work,
But they
apply
not
for the same
right.
grant, but because you didn't score
Right.
high on these tiers, you don't get the money. So I feel
Yeah.
you should make some provisions in there for small organizations like ours
Yes.
that do the work. We got a track record to show you that the We organization
Yeah, we
does
collect
the work.
data. When we're out there on the streets, people don't mind. They'll fill out our little surveys. They have filled out our data tracker form, and we have loads of data showing that we're out there doing the work. And even sending that, sometimes people are like, well, okay, that's nice. And that's that.
That's it. But we open this
Yeah.
year, we get to partner with Roseland Ceasefire.
Uh,
We just trained. We just did a training. Was it Saturday? We trained the whole Roseland Ceasefire staff on how on overdose prevention, how to recognize signs of an overdose, how to administer Narcan. So we did day training. We praying and hoping that it opened up the doors for us where we could kind of partner with them more, and maybe we can get resources from them to be able to help us, since they in the community doing violent prevention. We also do stuff in the community where we help ex-offenders. Maybe we can collaborate more, and maybe they can provide us more resources to do the work what we do, because it all comes together. It all works together.
mm-hmm.
It works together, but if you don't
my
have the
husband
funding,
is a networker.
yeah, if you don't have the funding,
Yeah.
and it just a great program,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Before we leave, please give intellectualradio.com/iHeartRadio station how they can get in contact with you, how they can contribute or donate.
Wonderful. Yeah.
There you go.
They can easily contact us. We have an office phone number. It's 312-686-7533 or 773-559-3597. They can donate to our organization through our website at www.weorganization612.org. So that's the website is safe and secure. They can easily make donations there. They can also, if they want to connect with us and they want to talk with us, they can email us at weorganization612@gmail.com.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Don't be a stranger to the drive at
No,
5.
I'm not.
Appreciate it. That's going to do it for us this Monday evening. Thanks to Wonder, our executive producer, Earl behind the scenes. You guys have a wonderful week.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
See, it wasn't that bad.
No,
I
it
want,
wasn't.
I want